Reggie's from Fayetteville, North Carolina, religion major, homecoming queen, NCICU ethics, I call it champion. You got that class, champion. Most outstanding theater award, CCSA scholarship, et cetera, et cetera. Reggie, go get them.
All right. I'm gonna put this mic down a little bit. I tend to speak very loudly. I don't want to hurt your ears. Before I begin tonight, I just want to thank my siblings who aren't here and who will not be at graduation for always giving me a different perspective in life. I have 3 siblings, and I love them dearly. Oh, and also, can we give it up for the cafeteria staff? Didn't they make a good meal? I see you, Miss Carolyn. All right. Welcome again, faculty, staff, and students. It is a pleasure to see you gathered in this place on this day. On the critically acclaimed album, Damn, Kendrick Lamar shares stories and pieces of advice that force listeners to think about how they perceive the actions of trust and love. On his hit song, Love, featuring Rihanna, he says, "Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than to love me." Recently, this album won a Pulitzer Prize for its literary creativity. The significance of this is the perception that most of us have of the album isn't the one everyone has. While we consider it a piece of rap masterpiece, the Pulitzer Prize Committee considers it literary genius. You see, perception is funny because it comes in phases. I can perceive something literally, and upon further understanding, I perceive it much differently. For example, I have worked in the Writing Center for 3 years. And in this time, I have been the moderator and contributor to conversations about race, politics, and theology. Because I'm an impassioned speaker, my hands move, my voice raises, and I pace, one may perceive that there is something wrong in the Writing Center. Maybe an important item has gone missing, or I'm frustrated with someone. But that perception is the face value. Once you walk through the door and you listen to the conversation, your perception may change. I am no longer a crazy woman with a loud voice. I am now a voice with a point, with a story. You may have a valid opinion to contribute, and while the viewpoint may be different than what I understand or am used to, I am forced to perceive you differently. You may present a fact or a life story that forces me to sit down, sit back, and humble myself. You see, the human experience offers these opportunities every day. In a few days, all of us will join the 34% of individuals who have received a bachelor's degree. But do not, I repeat, do not let that degree change your perception of others so much that they lose value or importance. We must humble ourselves when we perceive the world. We must see it in its full color. We must perceive it as a place of continued learning. We must not stop at the first step of understanding. We must look out onto the world and the people who inhabit it and see a different perception. Our success, our growth, and our future depends on perceiving the world as a place that has good and opportunity. We must value the situations that present uncomfortable conversation. I recently had an uncomfortable conversation with a pastor from the Tarboro area. We discussed the effect of trust, love, and humility on the Black church. During this conversation, we came to the conclusion that if you say you are an expert in trust, love, or humility, then you have learned nothing. Education is a lifelong process and journey. The buck doesn't stop here. May you continue to be surrounded by men and women who wish to see you pursue knowledge. May your perceptions always change with the introduction of ideas and evidence. May your eyes and your ears do the perceiving and not your mouth. Every single one of us in this room, professors, faculty, and staff included, have so far to go in our journey to become better. I do hope that our paths paths will cross again. But if they do not, may you walk the path at a pace that is comfortable for you. May peace and love be with you every step of the way. Thank you.